And it looks like we are live with the old hot mic here. Pre-show, Yankee.
Hot mic, hot mic.
Is
I
someone
haven't.
talking?
Do you have an earpiece in? See,
I actually do have an earpiece
you
in.
getting fed
It
questions?
looks like an earring, but it's an no. I'm kidding. We're not gonna go there.
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
But the company that makes those
Mm,
didn't deny it. So
no, no. So how you doing, man?
oh, I'm doing really good. Had a good trip to Harry's Coin Shop on Wednesday,
Very
and I was
nice.
working on editing that video today. So that'll be a fun one. We had a lot of cool, interesting stuff to talk about, and I know you've been going to Tim's quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, quite a bit. Having a lot of fun with him. Harry, Tim. Hmm.
Got to do a
Do you know what?
collab.
You know, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Just, just, just thinking here. I wonder
Mm-hmm.
what it would be like to have Tim and Harry
Oh man.
together.
Oh, on a live stream
Yeah.
tonight. No, I'm just kidding.
No, no. Okay, let's watch the chat. Here we go. We got
we,
Roy saying, "Do it."
we gotta plan this out like pretty far in the future. I think.
That would take a lot of planning. Probably less on Harry's and more on Tim's because that dude, I'll tell you, man, he's hard to pin down. He is.
Mm.
It's hard enough to get him in studio here on an Ask Yankee to get him on Silver Pro, so that would be pretty wild.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. It's something we'll have to kick around,
Yep.
and
Yep.
we could even maybe do one with Harry, one with Tim, or
Mm.
I mean, and definitely bring them both on. But I'm thinking maybe season 7 of Silver Pros. We'll try and expand it a little bit
There you go.
because we're kind of coming up
Tuli.
on the end of this one.
Tuli, your awesome mod Tuli is angry at me, I think, for having her magnet moved. Come on,
Why
Tuli.
would you do that, Yankee?
I didn't do it. I'm sure Tim did. I can't. I didn't do it.
Really?
Uh,
Was it in the video or something?
oh yeah, we've been throwing up. People are sending magnets in, and we're
Oh,
trying to
that's
fill his whole
hilarious.
his whole safe up. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Horace, I need to get mine up, so I need to reserve one spot for me.
Maybe I should send in a
Oh,
magnet.
don't you dare
What if I
send a
got one up
magnet.
before you?
Ah, probably will.
It would be impossible. Well,
Uh,
yeah, that's kind of cool though. I mean,
mm,
that's something fun. I think I would rather go there in person and put my magnet up.
oh, I would love that.
That's another thing I got to plan out. I got to get a trip out
Oh,
there.
by the way, I don't know if you know this, but right now it's peak fall leaf
Mm.
changing right outside my window. It is unbelievable. The golds, the reds, it's just stunning right now. This year is it's a little later than usual, I think, but it is incredible. So you got to come out in the fall.
Okay, well, I might have missed my chance this year. I've
Yeah, next year.
never been to Boston in the fall. I've never.
Got to Boston. Yeah, come on. Uh, what's the word I always mess up? What's the word?
Afterwards.
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 You say afterwards.
Afterwards.
That's the
Yeah.
word you always
That's
mess
my
up.
one area I can't hide my Boston accent from. Accent.
Hey, Tiger Stacker, thank you for the 5 spot. He's getting Papa John's. You know what? I will say this
Mm.
about Papa John's. I feel
Hmm.
like they just have better ingredients, which usually translates to a better pizza. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
I actually like those little garlic butter dipping things they put. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm just saying, I don't know anybody out there in Chatland. If anybody is out there that does intermittent fasting, I am like like
Oh, you're
so big of a proponent of that now.
wow.
After 3 months,
It's working out,
I've
huh?
lost so much weight. It's incredible. I feel better. It's awesome. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe there's nobody out there that does it, but
How
I do.
many hours are you eating during the day?
I do 18/6, 18 off, 6 on, usually. Sometimes
Wow.
it's more like 19 or 20. It's pretty wild, but I'm fine. I'm a food camel.
You don't
Oh,
feel
we
like
got a yes. We
you
got a
don't
few
feel like
yeses.
shaky like towards the end of that?
No, I don't. Isn't that amazing? I did. Oh, the first few weeks were hysterical. I was zombie walking into the kitchen. Didn't even know what I was
Mm.
doing. I was like, I must eat.
So you must
But
not
no,
be a
it's
big
good now.
snacker then. You can.
Oh, I was. Don't get me wrong. I grazed, I snacked. I am a sugarholic, so this was really good for me.
Mm.
Really good for me. Oh my word. Yeah, I needed to do this.
Yeah, and I feel like too, like you when you are in your window that you can eat, you're like, I need protein. I need to be able to make
Protein.
it till my
Exactly.
till my next window, and so you
Hmm.
kind of eat better in
Yeah,
preparation.
I'm sold on it. But yeah, there's a few people out there. I see you.
Well, I think we're about ready to go live here.
Let's do it.
Let's do this thing. Okay. Welcome to Silver Pros. I'm your host, Silver Dragons, and I'm joined by my awesome co-host, Yankee Stacking. What's up, Yankee?
How you doing, Dragons? Great to be here.
Yep,
I'm
doing great.
doing great. Yeah, I'm doing great.
And of course, because we're sponsored by SD Bullion, we'll be doing a giveaway tonight. Should we show them what we're giving away?
Ooh, yes. Let's see it. Let's see it.
Okay, so we're gonna be doing the one
All of
ounce.
those?
Yeah, the whole flight, including the gold. No, that's
Oh.
only on Gold Pros. No, so we're gonna be giving away the 1 ounce SD Bullion Proclaim Liberty Silver Bar to someone live in the chat. So stick around, and you're gonna be able to get one of these absolutely free, courtesy of SD Bullion. Now, if you wanted to pick some up, they have a great sale going on right now on the 1 ounce, 5 ounce, and 10 ounce. They also have the kilo. They got some gold too. But between the 1, 5, and 10, what are you thinking, Yankee? What would you be going for if you were going to be
Hmm.
stacking those right now?
I like the 1 ounce.
Okay.
I like the divisibility. I like it small, but it's probably not the most economical, right?
Yeah. Typically, if you get like the 10 ounce or the 5 ounce, you're going to save a few bucks. But with the 1 ounce, you bring up a good point. If you ever need to sell, you can sell them one at a time. If you
Mm.
get the 1 ounce, better for barter, etc. So
Wait a minute, Dragons, just how much of a difference are we talking here when you really break it out? You know what I'm saying? If you said, like, I want 10 1 ounce
okay.
SD Bullion Proclaim Liberty versus two 5 ounce.
Yeah, you're not looking at that much of a difference. So let's see.
Yeah.
$334 for 10 of the 1 ounce. So you're
Hmm.
saving $3 on the 10 ounce bar. And then
Hmm.
on these, you're saving, $2. So really not that much of a difference.
So 10 ounce versus 10 1 ounce. What's the difference total? Like
Literally
four,
$3.
$3?
Three
Okay.
$3 literally. So I mean,
See, and that's a question that I really want the people in the chat, those listening, to think about.
mm-hmm,
How much is it worth to have that smaller denomination, the fractional
mm,
the 1 ounces versus the 10? At some point, if it's really close, wouldn't you just you would want the smaller ones? But if
yeah.
it's a big difference in premium, then you'd go larger, right?
Yeah, that's true. I guess if it was like $20 difference, then yeah, I probably would be more likely to go larger. But at $3, I mean, that's a few, a little more than a quarter per ounce.
Mm.
It's not that crazy. I mean, I don't know. I think I go the smaller. Um,
Mm.
but everyone's different, and
Hmm.
and if you already have a lot of 1 ounce pieces, then maybe you're comfortable going with the 10 ounce. If you have a lot of 10 ounce, maybe you prefer the one. So it just depends on everyone's own stack. But we can do a poll here in the chat.
Okay.
Let me start it. We're going to start a
And while
poll. Go
And
ahead.
while you're doing that, I do need to tell people how to enter the giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
And this is open to U.S. and U.S. mailing addresses only for the giveaway from SD Bullion. You need to be obviously a subscriber to your channel and put something in the chat. And I am going to start gathering the names of the participants in the chat, and then we'll put it on the wheel of names at the end and draw a winner.
All right. Let's start the poll here, and we'll see what people vote for. But yeah, there you go. So feel free to. I'm gonna go back to the main screen here. Feel free to enter the giveaway. Um, and best of luck. We'll be doing that drawing at the end of the hour.
Hmm.
So stick around for that, and we'll see what they say in the poll. Now, if you have a question, we are doing a live Q&A tonight. So click on that Q&A section, type in your question, and we'll try and get to as many of them as we can. And thank you, Kimberly, by the way, for that $5 super chat. Really appreciate it.
Nice.
Wow, look at that.
What?
They are going for the 1 ounce.
For just $3. They value, see, isn't that interesting? It shows the smaller denominations of precious metals matter, and it's worth a slight premium.
Yeah.
But everybody has their line, right? That they don't want to cross. I mean, if you made that like $4 or $5 more or something, at some point people are just going to say, no, it's too much.
Yeah, Thule, I meant the $3, not per bar, but for $10, it's a $3 premium more, which is why I try to say that the best I could.
Nope.
But even if they thought it was per bar, they're still voting for it. So 60% prefer the 1 ounce. Wow, that's just crazy. I mean, when you go to resell them, like depending on where you go, sometimes you will get a little bit more of a premium back on the 1 ounce. So the spread might be fairly close. Like I know some coin shops will buy 1 ounce bars at spot, and the 10 ounce they'll go a little bit back a spot with how premiums are right now. So I don't know. It could be close to a wash, but I guess it just depends on why you're stacking to begin with. Do you want to be able to resell it easier? Do you care about storage? What do you already have in your stack? What are you focusing on right now? We all have our different goals and what we're trying to accomplish. So I think both are good options, though.
James Sparger says, I'm all about the 5 ounce. I bet that's a sweet spot. That's a popular weight as well.
Yeah, well, we had 179 votes.
Look at that.
We ended up 60% for the 1 ounce. I mean, there you go. It's worth the extra premium, I guess.
Yep, the new Trump train bar is out at SD Bullion. That's right, Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I've got a few Trump rounds and coins, medals, and all that. So very popular. What else? I think the bars are definitely the best buy right now for SD Bullion. I do know they are selling the 2025 Britannias. It's more of a collector thing, right? If you've got to have the next year, then yeah, they're out.
I mean, are they even a different design though than the 2024s?
No, I don't think they are.
So for me, I wouldn't get those over the bars because the premium on those was like $5 as opposed to like $1.50 over. So, or maybe a $4 premium, but either way, it's like you could just get so much more silver. I mean, every 10 ounces you get an extra ounce if you just get the bars. So when you think about it like that way, it's almost a no-brainer.
There's a lot of people buying those Trump ones out there in the chat. All right, hey, Tiger's back with another $5 super chat. SD, you forgot to tell Yankee my pizza looks like his rigged wheel. Ooh.
Can you
so mean?
Can you cut out like really super tiny slices? Like cut a regular pizza into like 64 slices.
Tiger, my friend. Inside joke. The wheel is not rigged. It's totally legit. He's just teasing. For those newbies out there, it's not rigged. So we'll do that at the end.
We need to talk about.
Can we talk about silver?
We need to talk about silver,
the price,
and we also need to talk about the flowing hair.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna
now
pull it up. Hold on.
Yeah, bring it up. Bring it up. I wonder how many people are excited about this. I saw your video on that.
Well,
a few people in the community put something up.
Okay, so
but I saw yours.
I got it on the website. It is sold out.
Gone.
Although technically, when they say remind me, there's going to be people who cancel their order or return it or something. Probably not return it, but like it doesn't.
Cancel.
Yeah, it doesn't work out for whatever reason, and they're going to have like maybe 100 more of these come back sometime, maybe 1,000. Who knows? So the mintage was 75,000. It's basically gambling because
it's a sweepstakes.
Well, but if you get, it's
ridiculous.
It's only less than a 3% chance to get the privy ones, but they're going for like $5,000 on eBay. So if you could spend $100 and win 5 grand, essentially, I mean, what
It
do you guys think
is,
about
yeah.
this? It seems kind of whack. They've never done this before. I don't know.
I think it's cheesy.
Did you guys buy it? I mean, let us know here in the chat if you bought it or
Yeah,
not.
I know. Maybe people did.
Did you buy one, Yankee?
No,
Mm-hmm.
hard pass.
I bought
Not
one.
my stack. You did? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I dabbled in it for those types of things. I just it just struck me as like, what are you playing here?
But here's
And
the thing. Here's the
and do
thing.
you really think that they're up for grabs, or your video? I think you talked about that it was legit, that they didn't know who was the dealers,
It's
what the
legit.
dealers were
I
getting, right?
called the
It's
mint.
legit.
I literally
Okay.
called the mint and I talked to the
Yep.
people, and they said it's completely random. They don't even know who's getting what, so it is completely random. Um, but the thing I wanted to point out is, let's say you don't get the one with the privy mark.
Hmm.
There are places like um, Pinehurst where you could sell the regular one for $125 right now. So it's a guaranteed $21 profit. You know what I mean? Even if you don't
Okay.
even get the rare one. So
Yep. Okay.
it's you can't lose until the market gets flooded with them, and then they're worth much less. But
Oh yeah, if you're gonna do it, you take the deal right away. You don't
immediately,
wait. Yes, you don't wait on that.
yeah.
Yeah, we played those. We did. I remember doing that a few years back. And I remember how frustrated I was with the U.S. Mint website to get all that figured out. And did you have any issues?
Um, when I logged in, it said I was in a virtual queue for about 30 seconds, and then
Hmm.
it let me right in, and it was super smooth. And it didn't sell out for like I think 20 hours or something. It was about a day later when it sold out. So anyone had an opportunity to get one. It wasn't like super competitive.
Okay.
So,
Hmm.
but yeah,
Interesting.
if you got one, I would highly recommend selling it immediately, unless you want to just keep it forever because you like the design.
Hmm.
But so the U.S. Mint had that, and then there's the privy marked Eagles coming out this year.
Right. And you were wrong, according to your video.
I was wrong about what video game company
I
it's
know. I know.
associated with. But I
Yeah.
was right about pretty much everything else. So the mintage is 500,000,
Hmm.
and this is the lowest mintage ever for a Bullion Eagle. The second lowest is the 1996, which is like under 4 million. So I think
Hmm.
it's like 3.7 million or something.
Right.
So if you like Bullion Eagles and you collect them, this will be the rarest with the Star Privy Mark. So SD Bullion actually is going to have them for sale in about 2 months, I believe.
Hmm.
They're letting like the video game company sort of get a head start on selling these,
Right.
and then you're going to be able to get them. I think like much cheaper, just Bullion version in tubes from the dealers. I believe the premium is going to be pretty low. Like maybe, right now they're going for $80. I think it's going to be like, I don't know, $50 or something for these
Yep.
coins. So if you want to get them, I would say just maybe wait and get them from the dealers. The video game, Paul, it's called Eighth Era,
Hmm.
and if you play for the game for about 3 hours, I know because I did it, then you can get your character up to level 7, and then you send your email to them, and they're going to email you in a few days or a few weeks. They haven't said, like a link to be able to buy it for $80 from them, but it will be a graded one. So I don't know if it's worth it or not, but you know, you can get it on iPhone or Android. So there you go.
All right. I want to talk about silver's price. The market is open overseas, right?
Yep. Let's pull it up.
I think we are at 31.91 or
31.94,
94. It is
up 12 cents.
dangerously close to 32. But I got to ask you, Dragons,
Yeah.
what has silver done? Let's just step back just for a second before we talk about where it's going. What has silver done so far this year?
Over $9 gain.
Boom, baby.
I mean, that's baller.
I did not see that fully. I really didn't. I was trying to be cautious last December of making my prediction. I really didn't think that would happen.
Well, we just hit $32 live on the stream. So we're only
Wow.
33 cents away from my end of year prediction. We did hit it already during the year, but we're right in the ballpark. So this is huge for silver. This has never happened since I've been stacking. Silver go up $9 in a year and hold that level. I mean, it's just it's wild. It's absolutely wild. During COVID, it went down. In fact, we could look on the chart, I suppose,
Yeah.
what happened during COVID to see sort of how it compares to right now. So let me back up the truck here. So let's see. The low for COVID was $12.12. And then it climbed up to, wow, 29. Now, this is all intra-year, but that is a huge swing there. That's $17 swing. But that's not for the year. So if we look for the year, let's see. So it's just going to be 2020. So it started off $18, and then it ended.
You doing for this year?
No,
Do year to
during
date.
COVID.
Oh, during COVID, yeah.
Yeah, it started off at 18, and it ended at 26. So that's only an $8 gain.
So James, Stacker Dad, is saying, look at gold. Well, we're on Silver Pros, but we will talk a little bit about gold, especially how it relates to what silver's done, right? So gold's hitting all-time record highs nominally. Actually, even adjusted for inflation, at least as measured by the CPI or CPI, we're really close to an all-time record inflation adjusted high
for gold.
Again, using government numbers.
Using the government numbers. So,
right.
So it depends
That's
on how
amazing.
you count for inflation.
Look at that.
Yeah. I know. So like back in January of 1980, if you adjust for inflation using the government numbers,
right,
then gold back then hit $27.47. So we're literally $40 off of the all-time inflation adjusted high. But if you use the real inflation numbers, you know, people argue
it's close.
gold is
it's around
like,
$4,000.
Yeah, 4,000.
It's really around $4,000. Yeah. But what about silver? So silver's not doing this yet. What's the all-time record high, inflation adjusted all-time record high for silver? Again, government numbers.
Yeah, using the government numbers, it's $144 an ounce is the inflation adjusted all-time high for silver. 144. We're not even 25% of the way there. But you know, again, if you use the real inflation numbers, you're looking at closer to $200, maybe $250. You could even argue for silver to get to that inflation adjusted all-time high. So silver is so undervalued right now. I mean, incredibly undervalued as compared to gold. And the thing I mentioned in my video today is no one's really talking about silver. It's kind of under the radar, right?
It is. There's no love for silver, it feels. Not within the stacking community, obviously there is, but in the mainstream media. I mean, I remember as a kid what it was like during the Hunt brothers move on silver, trying to buy up the silver and corner that market. And I remember silver going bonkers. And I remember my dad getting excited and getting me into stacking, and I was buying dimes and silver dimes and all that. And it was like, it was everywhere. Everybody was talking about it. Today?
No one.
Who's talking about silver?
I mean, we're talking about it right now, but
obviously,
but we're like the only ones. I mean, there's more channels, but as far as the media goes, no one's talking about it.
Talking about. Yes.
No one. So that's the thing. There's no hype for it. And so if you're worried about buying silver thinking, oh, the mania phase has already begun, it's already like peaking right now, that's totally not the case. I mean, even though silver's up $9 this year, it's still basically no hype. So
yeah, Quicksilver says the media isn't even focused on gold for that matter. Focused on? No. But they do talk about it. I do hear it occasionally mentioned. gold's doing this. Costco is selling gold, and it does come up, but silver never comes up.
Right.
And remember the GSR right now is 84 and change, almost 84, 59. It's still high. Silver is still way undervalued.
We should probably get to the Q&A here.
Yes, let's do that.
First question, I collected a lot of silver dimes. Is there any worth in them? Absolutely. They're worth like over $2 right now. So that's great. Hold on to them. Those are like one of the best things for barter. And of all of the silver dimes, we all know the mercury dimes are the best ones to get. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not gonna bite. Let's just agree. Dimes are awesome. I just got another roll. Dimes are awesome.
Were they all Roosevelts? The new roll?
You just can't let this go.
I'm just curious. I don't know.
You can't let it go. Yes. Now,
wow.
Give me another question.
Okay. There was a few questions on kilos. Let's see. Should I trade my kilo bars in for more fractional silver? Oh boy, Yankee hates that.
Oh, it just hits me in the gut. I was talking to somebody in line at Tim's saying, literally said that, Yankee, I got silver and I'm not happy. And I looked over at his wife because she was there, and I said, is your husband the type of guy who really doesn't stay satisfied with what he has and wants to change the furniture,
new phone every year,
and doesn't like the way the house is hit? And she's like, or car, and she looked at me and went, oh my word, yes. And I looked over at him, he starts laughing, he says, guilty as charged. I said, buy what you're after, keep what you have. And she looked at me and then looked at him and was like, oh, I love that. It doesn't always hold true. I mean, there are times that you can change stuff out, but in general, that's my philosophy.
And you should really hold on to it for a long period of time as well. So I just want to mention my video coming out maybe tomorrow or Saturday. I'm not sure when, but the one at Harry's Coin Shop, there was a guy who bought a few ounces of gold, and I think he only held on to them for like 2 or 3 weeks, and he wanted to trade them for silver. And Harry tried to talk the guy out of it, but
he did.
He was insistent.
Good for him.
Yeah. So the guy traded him, and it's like, you really can't do that because you're going to lose money with the premiums. You got to hold on to this stuff for a long period of time. So if you already have something, just hold on to it. And if you're after something else, just save up and buy that. Like, there's no reason to try and trade them back and forth.
Unless the reason you bought the precious metal target no longer exists. And I asked them that. I said, so the reason you bought this silver that you got, that no longer is a reason anymore? Well, no, I still like it. Well, then keep it.
Oh, interesting.
Just keep it.
Like if he's worried about SHTF, like, I need some constitutional to barter with, it's all ending.
Or if he did buy constitutional because he was concerned about SHTF, and then suddenly he goes, oh, I'm not worried about that anymore. Things are looking so much better now, and I'm less concerned about the society that we live in, and everything is what.
That would be surprising.
Yeah, that would be insane. But, if there's a major fundamental shift, then you could look at it and go, do I really need this anymore? But I don't see it.
If you apply that,
it's just getting worse.
If you apply that logic to the gold-silver ratio, if people are literally only buying silver right now because they think it's advantageous based on the ratio, and then the ratio changes to like 40-1, and it's clearly not advantageous to hold silver, then it would make sense at that point to trade it for gold.
For them, yeah, absolutely. Yes, I can see that logic.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, what do you think about gold sovereigns? Aren't the new ones like 24 karat? Did you see that?
I did see that. They are 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you live in Great Britain, then that's primarily what you should buy.
Oh, I'd be all about them. They're beautiful too.
Yeah, except for
I know.
The dragon.
The reverses are beautiful. Oh, you don't like that?
I like the dragon. I don't like
King
George trying to slay the dragon.
Oh, Come on, man.
Clearly, he failed.
Oh,
I mean, he eventually died. But thank you, David, for the $2 super chat. Appreciate
sweet.
that. Okay. Do you think
Did
it's?
talk about the flowing hair metal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's worth? What else we got here?
Where the price is headed? I mean, we kind of touched
Hmm.
a little bit on where they are now, where they could
Mm-hmm.
go. I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Mm-hmm.
What was your end of the year prediction, Yankee? Was
Oh
it
no,
32?
it was 32. It was.
And we're past that right now. So
Yeah. Well,
at the
maybe I'll be
moment,
right.
you
Maybe I'll be right.
actually you're closer than me.
At the
You're
moment,
only 6 cents off.
we've got so much coming in the next few months. This is going to be an insane next 2.5 months, 3 months. It's going to be unbelievable, and in a
Hmm.
lot of ways. I'm scared a little, but not really. I'm concerned. That's a better way to do it. You prep, you stack. You really don't need to be scared, but I'm concerned. And it also just if nothing bad happens, great. If things go really well, the metals might respond to the downside as
Hmm.
okay, let's say geopolitical tensions relax, we
Mm.
solve some issues, everybody comes together with a good kumbaya moment, we're all get along together and we all rally around the new president, whoever it is. If things really go well, and financially and monetarily
And the dollar's doing
and
good,
the
and
dollar gets strong and everybody's confident and yeah,
inflation's going
this
down. It's
sounds insane even.
amazing.
Yeah, it sounds crazy to be even talking like this, but my point is there is a downside potential. I just think the upside is so much more likely.
Yeah, I think it's more likely too. I mean, literally, when you were listing off all those things, I'm like, no, 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 but maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
Yep.
think ultimately it's headed higher. I think
Mm.
this decade we could see some really crazy
Oh,
things.
yeah. Yep, you're right. Let's just hope we don't need our wealth insurance.
Yeah.
We really don't want to have to use that.
I mean, honestly, like, let's say silver does go down from here. Let's say it goes back down
Okay.
into the 20s,
Yep.
and someone had just started getting stacking right now, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Man, it's
Mm.
going down. Should I get rid of it?" It's like nothing really changed. I mean, I that's why I think because I've been getting a lot of emails, people saying, "Should I buy right now?"
Mm.
And it's like, yes, but should I buy later? Yes. Should I buy
Mm.
a month ago? Yes. It's like, to me, the strategy has always been you just buy a little bit now, you buy a little bit
Mm.
next week or the week after, and you just dollar cost average.
Mhm, mhm,
And it doesn't really matter if the price is going up, if the price is going down, if it's flat. It's just the fact that you're exchanging a dollar, which is made by man. It's a made up idea that we all just agree on right now, for something with intrinsic value, something that will always have value. It's just a prudent thing to do, I think.
I agree. If it changes fundamentally, then we can assess whether or not we should keep stacking. Did you see the post that I dropped on my community page 5 days ago? I didn't put it in Instagram. I probably should have, but I dropped it in YouTube. Will we wake up in time? And it compared the silver content of the Roman denarius
Mm.
with the dollar. And it's
Mm.
just graphic. It's just so graphic to look at the similarity between it. We're going the same way. Civilizations long before us have done what we're doing. This is, you know, history doesn't always, repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And I'm telling you right now, we are rhyming beautifully to what Greece did and what Rome did and what a lot of nations have done with their currency. If that changes, I change my stacking strategy. If
Mm.
that doesn't, there's no reason to change my stacking strategy.
True. Yeah, yeah, you don't need to change. And the thing is, like, you know, are we going to go the way of the Roman Empire? I don't know. How long is that going to take? I don't know. you know.
Oh, yeah, there's a poll question for you.
Oh my gosh.
All right. If you want to get back to the questions, that's fine. But it is an interesting history lesson
Hmm.
when you really compare the societal, governmental, and economic similarities between the two.
Well, I always just go back to, the dollar is made by man,
Mm,
Bitcoin is made by man.
hmm
These are all things that people just agree on now, but it's not going to last the test of time. It's not going to, in 1,000 years from now, probably none of that will ever, it won't even exist.
hmm
So, don't rely on that stuff. If we even,
I
if
yeah.
it all keeps going for 1,000 years.
I agree with you, Michael Porter. All empires eventually crumble and fall. It's just the way it's the ebb and flow of civilizations. I think we've been, duped into thinking, well, this time it's different. This is the United States of America. We can never do anything wrong. Nothing ever is going to fail. We'll always be the powerhouse around the world. We'll always be the one with the dollar that everybody wants. I hear that. People comment on my channel. It's like, oh, you're crazy to think that the United States would ever, have, it's like go bankrupt or default or, hyperinflate their currency into oblivion. Yeah, you're nuts. Okay, well, that's that's fine. And maybe it won't happen, but I'm stacking as insurance. This is so important to me and it's important to my family. I
Hmm.
hope people that are listening to Silver Pros understand, why we stack, the purpose of it, and how important it really is.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Um, Getting back to the questions, we have one here from Michael. What are the ramifications of A-Mark buying up mints and trying to corner the market?
Mm. They
Interesting.
are swallowing them up, right?
They are the
Prohibited,
second
yeah.
largest.
Yes.
Um, uh, Atmex is the only one bigger
Atmex,
than
number
them.
one. Yeah.
Which didn't they get bought out by PAMP or something recently?
Yes. Yes, they
Yeah.
did.
So there's a few big players. The third biggest is SD Bullion. Of course, we like them.
Mm-hmm.
Started by stackers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Christian-run company
Yep.
and very competitive pricing, which of course is a must.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to one big company buying up other smaller companies, typically this is actually worse for the consumer because you want competition. So
Mm.
when you ask, what are the ramifications? Like, let's say there was only one bullion company in all of America, for example. That would be terrible because you couldn't, there's no one competing for a lower price. So, yeah, I guess it's not great, but they're not big enough to really corner the market. I think there's always going to be at least 3 or 4 big players.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't think it's the end of
Yeah.
the world.
Competition's good. I'm telling you right now, I'm suffering under Comcast. It's the only player in my my neighborhood, and I
Oh,
can't
no.
stand only having one. I mean, give me some competition, please. So it's not a good thing to see it all consolidate.
Hmm. We got one question, pretty easy to answer here from Brian. What is a
Mm.
coin or a round? So I guess what's the difference?
Mm.
What do you think, Yankee?
Well, all coins are round. Actually, be careful there. No, not
Not
all
all.
coins are round. Some of them are triangular and
All
square. All that.
rounds are round.
Rounds are round, right? All coins are coins. Coins are minted, um, current or minted money, silver by a sovereign mint, a government mint. It has a dollar or it has a denomination on it. So for the United States, it would be a dollar amount on the coin. Rounds don't have that. They're minted by private mints, and they're really the same. Rounds and bars are really the same in that they're different shapes, but they're again just based upon the metal content, not any sort of numismatic value whatsoever.
Yeah, so what about something like the Libertads, right? Because
Hmm
that's made by
Gray,
the
yeah,
government of
yeah.
Mexico.
I call it a coin, even though it doesn't. It's a
It doesn't say how many
unique example.
pesos it's
Yeah,
worth.
that's a unique one-off. Yeah, that's a an outlier. But most, I can you think of any other coins other than the Libertad that don't have a dollar or a denomination? I keep saying dollar denomination, a denomination on it.
Um, well, the
In the
Krugerrands
South
say one
Krugerrands.
R
Yep,
for one
yep.
rand, but it
Rand,
doesn't actually say that. So it's
right?
debatable. And then you have
Mm-hmm.
the shillings on the Somali elephants, which is debatable if that's
I
actually
always
their
considered
currency.
that.
I
Yeah.
believe there's a debate there.
The
So
most have a denomination on it.
yeah, I think if you pick up a circular piece of silver and it says $1 or 1.5 euros or whatever,
Mm,
it's a coin. It's made by a government. If it doesn't say anything like that, if it just says 999 fine silver, then it's just a round.
hmm hmm I mean, you can get prosecuted if you decide you want to mint your own round and then stick the word dollar on it. There's precedence. You could end up in jail. So you can't do that. Not in
Exactly.
the United States.
Yeah, maybe in China.
I don't know. Oh, it may be worse.
There is a question here from Echo. Why is the word
North.
the unit on the new flowing hair coin? Um, it's actually not on the silver medal. It's only on the gold one. But yeah, you're right. It does say unit. It's very, very weird that they're doing that. I don't exactly know why. I could try and look
hmm
it up so we could show it. Are you familiar with this one, Yankee?
No. Show me that.
Yeah. Let's see here. So they actually don't have a picture of it, but I'll put it up on
Hmm.
the screen here. So they say on the website
Oh, they
right
don't.
here,
Oh,
it says 100 cents, $1 or unit. That is the
unit.
denomination on this coin.
Is
And
that Old English or something? What the
yeah,
heck?
that's what it is. It's old English. So it's the old-timey way of saying a dollar. So it's very strange, but that's
Hmm.
what they're going with, I guess, because it's sort of a replica of the first flowing hair dollar, 230
hmm
years ago. They wanted
Yep.
to kind of give it the old timey feel. So they're saying unit. I don't think it has anything to do with like, oh, the dollar's going away. We're going to call it a unit because
Mm.
the next currency is a unit, or a universal currency is a unit, or it's nothing like that. It's not. I don't. I guess there is a conspiracy surrounding it, but I I mean, wouldn't that be crazy if they like
That would
literally
be.
tip their hat with just on this one coin? I don't know.
Yeah, that is wild.
All right.
All right. I was just bringing up the debt clock, and maybe you can bring it up too, but
Oh
because I saw
yeah.
that question, have you looked at the debt clock in real time? Which the that's what it is, right? In real time.
Yeah, you have to look at it in real time, I
Yeah.
think.
But the question was around dollar to silver. So the dollar to silver ratio, the paper to silver dollar, yeah, that's pretty profound. We've talked about it. We've done videos on it. It's pretty scary when you look at that number.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and pull it up
Can
here.
you bring that up?
Close the secret window.
Yep. Where's that X too? I was trying to
It's on the
click the X.
top right.
Is it? Oh
Okay.
yeah,
So what did
there
they?
it is.
Okay, so here's what they wanted to see. Okay,
The
so
dollar to.
I have it. It's the
Okay. Yep.
paper to silver ratio now, 408 to 1. Now, if you don't know what this ratio is,
Mm.
you might kind of think it's like something crazy and like, oh, you know, I don't know, silver. I don't know. It's like
Yeah. What is that?
super
Paper
manipulated,
what?
and maybe you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the amount of paper silver traded on the major exchanges and futures paper silver ounces to how many ounces of silver have been mined in this year. So it's not actually all the available silver, on the marketplace right now. That's not the
Mm-hmm.
ratio. It's how much has been mined this year.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at this, it's like, okay, you know, it's not necessarily saying that silver should go up by 408x, you know, if this
Right.
system crumbles. That's not exactly what it's saying. It's just saying that there's an insane amount of paper or not real silver being traded on the markets as compared to how
Claims.
much has been mined this year.
Claims to a single ounce, right?
Yeah, but again, it's not every ounce on the market. The amount
Mm-hmm.
on the market is far greater than what's been mined this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, I would say, I don't know, 10 or 20x. So,
So what is the dollar to silver ratio now? A little higher up, 725 per
this
ounce.
one here,
Yep. 725, right
this
up
is
there.
again looking at the amount of silver that's been mined this year and comparing it to dollars created this year.
Right. Dollars in circulated created this year
Yeah.
only? Okay.
Um, yeah, we can back out a little bit and
Yeah,
see. It should tell us.
doesn't it when you hover show you? It's
I
supposed to
think
show
that's
you
just
the
on your
description.
phone.
Oh, okay.
Let me look it up on my phone.
Yeah, I'd like to help make sure we get that one right because the dollar to silver ratio, I know it's the dollars in circulation and silver, but is it just for this year or just
Yeah,
new
no, that's a great
versus
question. I believe
yeah.
it is just for the year,
Mm.
but let me try and look it up here.
With prices this high, should I buy silver that is numismatic like Morgan dollars and peace dollars? Well, Elena, I think that you need to be very careful about buying any numismatic silver. You need to really be educated and careful to know whether or not what you're paying is appropriate for the rarity and the condition of the coins you're looking at. And that takes some skill. That takes some time. If you're stacking for weight, if you're stacking for other reasons, I personally try to stay away from Morgans and peace dollars, not because I don't like them. I think they're beautiful, but they do come with a higher premium than other 90% constitutional silver, like half dollars, quarters, and dimes. So just be careful there. And I don't think it's necessarily when prices this high. I think you need to be careful no matter what the prices are. Now,
Mm.
sometimes with depending on the price, spot price, I should say, certain numismatics will have less of a premium
Oh,
and
true.
sometimes a greater one. So it does that varies greatly as well. In fact, I'm going to be doing a video. I'm working on it right now, talking about a stacking target of mine that has been traditionally higher in premium, but now I've noticed it's much, much lower. So I'm really starting to think maybe this is a thing I need to stack. So that's coming
Mm.
out soon. But you do need to be careful in general with any type of numismatic coins.
Right. Where's the value coming from? The
Yeah,
collectability or the silver? So if
exactly.
you're relying too much on the collectability, that can change. And depending on where you think things are headed, it could be zero is the collectability factor at some point.
Mm.
So I did figure out the answer here. So let me go back to the website. So dollar to silver ratio 725. So what this is the year over year increase in the USM2 money supply divided by the yearly world production of silver in ounces.
So it's really the increase
Increase in
of
M2.
both and the ratio of the increase of both. Oh, wow.
So that
Interesting.
is crazy. 725. Yeah. Well, the money supply is going up. For the last 5 months, it's gone up. And so if M2 continues to rise and with them cutting rates, that's going to, in theory, make it rise even faster. This number is
Yep.
probably going to go up a lot
Mm-hmm.
because this amount of silver coming out of the ground is basically a constant. It's not really changing. The only thing that's changing is M2.
Right. And just M1, M2. M1, by the way, guys, is like all the, it includes all the cash that's outside the banking system and checking account deposits. Okay. So that money supply. M2 is that plus things like a money market mutual fund balances. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a lot. People put a lot into mutual fund money markets. So, it's all this stuff, all the currency that we have. M2 is a big, big number and getting bigger every day.
Can we get to the elephant in the room here, Yankee? We got over
Sure.
500 people watching.
Wow, that's awesome.
Earlier, you said you were worried about the
Mm.
next few months and what's happening in the world, what's happening here. We got a question here from Dustin. Which candidate winning will impact the price of silver more? I think
Mm.
I think this
Mm.
is something everyone is thinking about because if we're
Mhm.
buying silver, you know, and one or the other wins, what's going to happen? Like, you know,
Okay. All
for
right.
example, if
So
Trump
so
wins,
so Dustin's not asking specifically what will silver do up or down depending on the candidate, but who will have the greatest
oh,
impact.
that is true. But I
So it's a
guess
little
also up or
okay.
down, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So, but also,
Hmm.
I would say he's probably not asking like within a month of them winning. He's probably saying within the 4 years, what's
Well,
going to
there's
have a
probably
bigger
a short
impact?
term. There's probably a short term impact
Yeah, so,
and a longer term.
yeah. So let's take it one step at a time.
Hmm.
Based on, Trump or Kamala in the short term, how's this going to affect silver? What are your thoughts? I mean, I know what I think, but let's see what you think first.
Trump wins,
Hmm.
silver dips. Kamala wins, silver spikes. Short term.
Really?
Yep.
Really? So I'm going to be honest with you. I think
Hmm.
short term,
Hmm. Hmm.
I think one of the reasons that metals go up is fear of the unknown, right?
Hmm.
So once people know who won and
Hmm.
everything gets, shaken out, if there's any, oh, did they actually win or whatever. Once all
Right.
gets that gets shaken out, I think either way we see a dip.
I think it also it matters how much of a win. If it is
Exactly.
so tight,
Yeah.
then the instability
Oh yeah.
societally could cause it could go up no matter who wins
Right.
because it is close. If it's a landslide one way or the other,
Yeah.
which I don't see, but let's say demonstrative. Let's say Kamala. I'm sorry, am I saying her name right? Who cares? If Kamala Harris wins definitively,
Okay.
and Trump, I just heard him speaking on a podcast today.
Hmm.
Um, he's going to contest it no matter how
Either side will
what
contest it.
no matter what. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's rigged, unlike the wheel. If he loses in his mind, so if Kamala Harris wins, and it just kind of everyone accepts it.
Hmm.
I think in the short term, though, from an economic standpoint, that's going to be unfortunately good for metals because
Mm.
where inflation is going to go
Oh,
and all
interesting.
the social spending and everything that's going to affect financially, fiscally. We're going to spend more. The deficits are going to increase even faster. Everything's going to get out of control, I think, faster. In the short term, I think they'll be looking at that going, oh, my word, we need to be in metals more. Now,
Mm.
okay, Trump wins. More,
Hmm.
okay, maybe there's a calming effect on metals short term. Things are going to, maybe we can invest more, whatever. I don't know. But long term, this is my point.
Right. Yeah. Let's get to
Long
let's
term,
get to 1 year out, 2, 3 years out.
two, three,
What are we
four.
looking at?
I don't think it matters one bit.
Wow. And that's the thing is like everyone cares about what's going to happen in the next 2 months, but
Mm.
even these long-term stackers aren't looking far enough out because no matter who wins, neither candidate is talking about, paying down the debt. Let's,
Of course not.
get every. It's not even
Nope.
a talking point for either one. They don't even bring it up. They don't even talk about it at all. Everyone knows
Hmm.
they're just going to spend, and it's
Hmm.
going to cause more inflation, which is a tax on the American people, and you got to protect yourself from that. So I 100% agree with you on that. I think either way, long term, it's going to impact silver. Who
On
who
that,
impacts it more?
yeah,
I
yeah,
I think with the social spending, it could be a
yeah.
little bit more sided. Like it could have a
Right.
bigger impact on silver with Kamala, but
But fiscally and monetarily,
right.
especially monetarily, we're talking two wings of the same bird, two sides of the same coin. Really, man, I'm telling you, the
It's
era of big government
crazy.
is here to stay. And I heard Trump today on that podcast, and he was talking about Jerome Powell, and,
Yeah.
and they showed the chart with the interest rates over the presidency, and he said, he blew it. He was too early. He was too late. And I want him to do the same thing. Cut rates. I want zero interest rate policy. I think that's great. He wants rates cut to zero again. It's not going to be good monetarily for us, no matter who wins. I really don't believe we have a fiscal conservative mindset anymore in our nation.
Can you
I think
imagine?
it's gone. It's
Rates,
gone.
yeah, rates go to zero.
Oh, I know. Wow.
Yeah,
When he said that,
that
I just kind of, oh,
dollar to silver ratio would be well into the thousands,
yeah.
maybe up to 10,000 plus. Um okay, so I hope that answers your question, Dustin. um, Max is asking about coal maple leaves, so
Hmm.
like damaged milk spotted maples. If you should be buying them, I
I like
honestly,
them.
I think if you're under the mindset that silver is silver and these are
Hmm.
cheaper for you to buy, then
Yeah,
100% get them.
good point.
If you're looking at your exit strategy, um, and the shop that you buy from slash will maybe sell to down the road hates them, buys them way back a spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's all stuff you got to think about. You need to think
Hmm.
about your exit strategy for whatever metals you're buying before you even buy the metals. If you need to get rid of them, where are you going to get rid of them? Who are you going to
Hmm.
sell them to? You're going to mail them to SD Bullion? Are you going to do that?
Mm.
Are you going to take them back to the shop you bought them from? Are you going to sell them person to person? Are you going to barter them away? What are you going to do with your metals? So, I mean, I would. It's kind of a person to person decision on that, but Yankee loves them.
I do. Go
but
for it, as long as the price is right.
but what's your exit strategy, Yankee?
I hope I never have to use my silver.
Never going
And
to sell.
if I never going to sell, and if I never have to need my wealth insurance and my potential barter currency, I will pass it on to my well stacking, educated children,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll keep it because I think they're going to need it if I don't. There's a man, I know this is a silver channel, but my question: does gold ever tarnish or milk spot? Gold never tarnishes. Gold never milk spots, but gold does
But
occasionally get red spots. Okay,
okay.
some gold has a small portion of copper in it. It can occasionally, minuscule particles can react with oxygen and start turning into tiny red spots. I have it on a few.
I have it on a few, and
Yeah, it's not the
people,
end of the
the
world.
slang for it is
Yeah,
copper spots,
copper spot. Yeah, but it's
and
not
it.
necessarily that.
My opinion is that it's actually a flaw when they
Mm,
mint the coins.
yeah.
And if they had polished the dies right and the oil was right or whatever, then the coins would never get those copper spots on them. So I actually
Hmm.
I believe it's a defect,
Hmm.
because like pure gold, for example, if you have 24 karat gold, it should look like that forever, for
Hmm.
thousands of years. If you dig up old gold coins out of the ground, they're beautiful. It's not
Yep.
like silver; they don't turn black.
Right.
So that's why people love gold. It's just gorgeous.
Holding an 1894 Liberty Head $20 gold coin. It's got red spots all over it. 90%
Mm.
gold. And it's got it, so it does happen. Um, Opinion, says John, on 1.5 or 2 ounce rounds, silver rounds. Would you go 1.5 or 2 if you had to choose between the two?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I would always go the 2 ounce.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
The 2 ounce, if they're twice as thick as a 1 ounce, it's called like a
Mm-hmm.
pied fort, something
Mm-hmm.
like that. Heavy foot is what it means in like French. I don't know, but
Mm.
um, yeah. No, I like the 2 ounce. The 1.5 for me gets a little confusing, especially when you try and sell them and people think they're 1 ounce.
Yep.
So you really don't want to do that. Make sure but like because they get mixed in with the 1 ouncers, they look very similar in my opinion. So I don't like the 1.5.
So we got a giveaway we're going to have to get ready for soon. Just let me remind people, if you want to get in on the giveaway, you need to put something in the chat. I am collecting names now, so just to let you know that when it gets closer, I'm going to just stop it and throw it on the wheel of names. Do you have a question? Actually, is that the one you're looking at right there from
I am.
ArcPope?
I
Go
am.
for it, buddy.
This is so funny. This question, I don't know what it really has to do with silver, but it says, "Why are you silver dragons and not the silver dragon?" Uh, it's so funny. So when I started my channel, the name was actually Silver Baggins. Like after Lord of the Rings. But then Warner Brothers came after me for the trademark infringement, and so I changed it to Silver Dragons because it sounded like Silver Baggins, and my logo was
Mm-hmm.
already a dragon. So that's literally why my channel is called that. But I guess we can all be like, oh, we're all silver dragons, because dragons like to hoard precious metals. So it's a channel for the community. It's not just for me.
Right.
So there you go.
Let's see. Guys, if I want to slightly clean my constitutional, what's a light cleaner? Can I clean piece by piece or all at once, but don't really know what to do, if anything, or just leave it as is, says Margie Stevens.
Leave it. Just leave it, really. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
you really don't need to clean any of your silver. You can just leave it.
I mean, it's hard work in silver, that constitutional 90%. It's been around. And it's just earned its dirt, right? And its grime. Now, Margie, I know some people, though, that just can't stand get their hands dirty, right? It just bothers them. So if you want to clean it, it's fine. It's not going to,
as long as they're not rare, like check the dates. I mean,
yeah,
please
that's a good point.
Look at the dates. If you have mercury dimes, please at least just look through. Pull out the 21D, 16D. You probably have like 100 in there. They're each worth like $500.
Yeah, right. I'm assuming it's true junk. It's true and that's what junk silver is meant by, coin dealers. It doesn't mean that it's awful. It means that it's not a numismatic, collectible, good date type of.
It's also
coin.
not pure silver, right? 10% copper, so it's in a way. I mean, it's less.
But I've never heard my local coin shop dealer look at a, rare slabbed, mercury dime or something and say it's junk silver. They just don't do it at that point, right? Mm-hmm. It's has value beyond the metal. So thoughts on stacking dimes and quarters versus 1/10 and 1/4? I love the 90%. Dimes are my favorite, then quarters and halves. Go for that first. Really, it's the cheaper of the fractional. I'm not saying you don't have 1/10, maybe a few of them or something as a diversification for potential barter. That's fine, but don't spend a lot of money on that stuff.
There you go. Do you want to pull up the wheel here, Yankee?
Ooh, yeah.
That would be really awesome.
Would that be?
So we're going to do the giveaway here. Hopefully you all had a chance to enter by saying something in the chat, because this is like your last second to do it.
The last second. I am now harvesting the names because that's just how I roll. Let's get those names done, right?
All right. This is going to be for the 1 ounce proclaimed Liberty bar from SD Bullion. And we're going to give one of them away here right now.
Copy.
So best of luck.
Put those names in there. There we
go.
Shuffle it a few times. How about that?
Shuffle it up, Yankee. So how does this thing work? What is this big spinning wheel?
Yeah, it's the wheel of names. Everybody's name that put something in the chat is on there. There's no duplicates. I'll show that right here. No duplicates. And this little gray thing right here is the wheel, the vortex, where it sucks the names in and then spits them out, right? If I didn't have that, you wouldn't be able to read the names. There's so many names out there. So let's just shuffle it up one more time and spin. Good luck, everyone.
Yeah, best of luck. Free silver right here.
Free silver.
Thank you for for hanging out with us instead of watching Thursday Night Football.
That's true.
Or maybe you're doing both. I don't know.
And then, we got to tell them about the next.
Oh, yeah. Stick around for the update on the next one.
All right. We got Robert H., Brian Locklear, Big Toke, Benjamin Coffey, William Wayne. I think William might hold on to it.
I think it might be William.
There it is. William Wayne.
Congratulations, my friend. Go ahead and shoot me an email, silverdragons47@gmail.com. And or you can email Yankee. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
One of the two
Either
of us.
way, we'll get it over to SD Bullion.
Yes, and make sure you include your name, address, and your phone number in case there's an order with the shipping. And congratulations on the win. Some free silver. So what's going on with the next episode, Yankee? What are we doing special?
Well, normally we do it on Thursday nights, right? Well, the next time it landed on Halloween night. Now, that's not a problem for me because all my kids are older and whatever. But on your end, over on the West Coast, it hits at a prime time spot. So we're not going to do it on Halloween Eve.
Nope.
We're going to do it the day before, the night before, right? On Wednesday. So it's a special Wednesday edition of Silver Pros on my channel.
There you go. So make sure you subscribe to Yankee Stacking. It's going to be, not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, so the day before Halloween. And we're going to get to all the
30th.
questions we didn't get to. I'm sure there'll be many more questions. It'll be interesting to see what silver does between now and then. And big thanks to Armando for the $5 super chat. He says, none of you better be happy over $3,000 to $5,000 for gold, because next you'll be paying $10,000 an ounce.
Oh, great point, Armando. Thank you.
There you go.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Silver Pros.
Stack like a pro.
Have a good night, everyone.